Beautiful. All right, guys, happy Sunday. I am super happy and grateful to be able to just share some time with you, share some space with you, and then hopefully by the end of this call, you guys will be a different person because you'll be receiving a little bit of value from a slideshow that I have. But let's kick this all right. I love you too, Leanne. We did. Let's kick this off, right? Throw some gratitude in the chat. Happy holidays, everyone. We just got done celebrating what some people celebrate as Christmas. Other people might not, but that's okay because I hope that the month of December, you guys make the most of it. The most of it with your family, the most of it with your organization, the most of it with yourself. So happy and grateful for all of you and my family. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you. It is 8:09 Central Standard Time, 9:09 Eastern Time. So I want to get right into it. I'm gonna close this, I'm gonna close that, and I'm going to show you guys a little presentation that I fixed up for you. So this training is focused on resetting and refocusing, right? We're finishing up the 12th month of the year. And a lot of people focus on the calendar year. Like, let's just be straight up. Going into the 12th month of the year, we're focused on holiday season. We're focused on, wow, where did time go? Where am I going to be next year? We start like questioning ourselves and what we've done up until this point or where we're going, so on and so forth. So I want to take this moment to really just bring it back, relax, reset, refocus, restructurize, so that we can make the absolute most of the next upcoming 30, 60, 90 days, and really just make our organizations and our personal lives bullish. All right. So when it comes to resetting, and something that I think is underrated, super underrated, is forgiving yourself and others. Because a lot of people just go through the motions of life. They maybe hold a grudge, and that grudge weighs us down. So my 2 cents in this is let it go. Whatever it is, let it go. I don't know if you guys have ever felt a weight on your shoulders, like you're carrying extra baggage that really isn't yours to be carrying. Let that go. I don't know how much language I'm going to be using, but full disclaimer, transparency, if I will let one slip, I let one slip. But anything that you guys are holding on from the last 12 months, oh, I should have done this. I should have bought Bitcoin at 6K. I should have bought Bitcoin at 4K. I feel you, but we got to let it go. Same thing with your organization. Oh, I should have signed that person up, or, oh, I should have joined with this team. Just let it go. The only real thing that we have control over is the present. So let's use that, the power of now, to excel, exceed, and then continue to move on and expand. I like this. I came across this a few months ago, maybe over a year ago. It's called there's a spiritual solution to every problem. I don't want to spend more than a few minutes here because I don't believe in spending more than a few minutes on the problem. I want to find the solution, right? So we are solution oriented. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. That's from Dr. Wayne Dyer. Super, super beneficial to look up any kind of material from him. But let's look into the components of the term spiritual. And I really want to focus on the first words, the components of this meaning, because some people think that if you're spiritual, you can't be religious, or vice versa. But I really think it comes together to belief. So the components of the word spiritual is surrender. Because when you surrender, you live. And when you don't, you stiffen up. It's the same thing as holding on to anything, right? Power versus force. Where is the most benefit? With power, right? Not necessarily with force. So think of the last time that you felt like you were forcing something and all that frustration that came with it. But when you let it go, you felt lighter. You felt like you were able to live a little bit more. That's the beauty of surrender. Then comes love. Love is the infinite. Keep your deepest values at play. An empty mind, less human doing, more human being, allowing yourself to just be. Sometimes I feel like myself, we're thinking of all these things to do, right? Depending on the size of your organization, all the things you want to accomplish in life, all your business endeavors, everything that you're learning on the trading side. But what if we just took a few minutes, a few moments of our day to have an empty mind and to just be? Generosity and gratefulness, as you sow, so shall you reap. It's in the Bible. It's a law, a universal law, right? You give, or when you receive what you give, what you put out, you get back. So give generosity, give gratefulness, give gratitude, give your all, and you will receive back tenfold. Connectedness to yourself, to others, and to higher purpose. Connected to everything, attached to nothing. Again, power versus force. And then cheerfulness, bliss, euphoria, fulfillment. These are ultimately, maybe in a different wording, one of the human necessities, like a psychological necessity, according to, I think it's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, is that feeling of fulfillment. People chase it. For the entire life, you chase happiness. What happens when you're growing up and you're thinking of what you want to be when you grow up? Cool, what's going to make me money, or what's going to make me happy? Even when you make that money, you're still looking for something else, right? That's true happiness, the pursuit of happiness, fulfillment. Ultimately, it comes down to how you feel. The red numbers, yes. Another perspective, the problem is just an illusion. Perspective is everything, right? So even when we do come across these problems, we are professional problem solvers, are we not? So the problem is actually an opportunity for us to grow and to contribute unto others. That's going to help us in the long run. Everything is an experience. Everything that we go through, we grow through. So this problem might be a temporary obstacle, but it's exactly that. It's temporary. It's just part of the story. The test comes before the money. Divine love will meet any human need. What you lack in material, you will compensate in the spiritual. Anything that you feel like you lack, first of all, you lack nothing. That's exactly it. You lack nothing. You have everything that it is that you can possibly need. Everything that has ever existed has always existed. Everything is a transfer of energy from one form to another, right? So everything that we need, that we have, by definition. We are abundance. So we lack nothing. We don't create abundance. We are abundance. Or we tune into our abundance. But we never lack material. We never lack resources. We never lack anything. So just keep that at the back of your mind when you're resetting. And I want to transition from resetting to refocusing right after this. Hi, Mandy. All right, I know that Gianna did a training on the emotional guidance scale. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm not going to spend too much time here. But when we are refocusing or resetting, reflecting, I want you guys to know that you are in power, that you have absolute power over everything, including 1, your emotions, 2, your attitude, most importantly, your perspective, and 3, your awareness of your emotions. Once you are aware of the emotion that you're currently in, you automatically level up. Congratulations. If you want to see life like the infinite game, then that's fine. Know that you level up according to your awareness. So all you have to do is be aware of the emotion that you're feeling and move on to the next one. And then you rinse and repeat, and you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again until you feel good. Feeling is the secret, and awareness will bring you that feeling. Yes. Moving up in the world. All right, so coming down to refocusing. What does focus stand for? An acronym would be follow one course until successful, right? We've all heard of that. But few, or I should say some, want to speed up the process, or they get frustrated when they don't see the result that they're looking for, right? Focus on your goal. If it doesn't work out, then it's okay to change the method, but you don't change the goal. Focus on your course. Focus on your purpose. I forgot to put in here maybe, and I don't know if you guys have seen it before. I posted on the LBD ladies story on Friday. It's called Ikigai. When you follow what you're good at, what can make you money, what helps others, then that centerpiece is called your purpose, or what you should be doing in life. So follow that, and the universe will compensate. Focus on the few, not on the many. And don't major in minor things. Do not focus too much time on things that aren't going to pay you back. Here's one thing. A lot of us, we might find ourselves really busy, but busy does not equal productive. If you've ever reached out to somebody on your team or somebody in your family and they're like, and you're asking them, what they're doing next Tuesday because you have a presentation or you have an op call, and people say that they're busy, but busy doing what? What is that getting you? Make sure that you're focusing on the right activities, income producing activities at best, and then leadership activities as well to continue to grow you as a leader. But remember, focus, don't major in minor things. Focus on the end, what's going to get you the right result in the end. All right. Organizations are like great stories. All great stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So start with the end in mind, but don't be upset if your story is a little bit bumpy, right? That's what makes a good story to begin with. So of course, I love to highlight where we come from, not to focus on the past by any means, but to say, I got from point A all the way to point Z, right? It doesn't matter where we come from. It's not your fault what you were born with, or maybe what you think you were born without. Maybe you weren't born with a silver platter or silver spoon. That doesn't matter. Where are you going? You're in control of the now, remember? So you're in control of the middle and the end. It's all up to us, but we're writing our stories every single day. Just because it's the end of the month or the end of the year doesn't mean anything, really. This time is only a concept, but every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So don't get too focused on what you see in front of you now. Everything is a delayed, a delayed result. Everything, whether it be the back office, your rank, your trading account, everything is the delayed result. What you sow, so shall you reap, but doesn't mean immediately, right? The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. This right here is a visual representation, and I give brownie points to anyone that knows what chart this is. It looks a little bit different right now. It looks super different right now, which makes this example so much more relevant. This is a visual representation of a trader or an entrepreneur's emotional guide. Let's see if anyone caught this. Exactly. All right, so this is a line chart of Bitcoin. I took this a couple of weeks ago, so now it looks a little bit different towards the end, right? It created all-time highs. We're sitting at 27K. Like, life is bullish, and that's why I said this is an even more relevant example, because doesn't this look like what we go through as entrepreneurs? We start off super optimistic. We're super excited. It's thrilling. We feel that euphoria when we get our first 3 personals, so on and so forth. And then the people don't stay. We see some complacency. We feel some anxiety. We go through denial, fear, panic, anger, maybe even depression. And then we start to turn ourselves around, pick up our habits, talk to the right people, get some hope, feel some relief, optimism, go through the process again. But ultimately, when you're doing the right thing for the right reasons, the universe conspires in your favor. Ultimately, the 115 people, shout out to you guys, that are on this call, we're at the right place at the right time with the right people for the right reasons. So we will get the right results. You just got to stay in the game. Focus. Yes, market cycles. Beautiful. All right. So I was listening to a Jim Rohn video on YouTube, and then when I find a really good playlist or a really good episode on YouTube or Spotify, whatever it may be, when it comes to personal development, I study it. Jim Rohn is one of the greatest of all time when it comes to network marketing. He was a GOAT, in other words, not just in Herbalife, for the entire industry. He says success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every single day. A lot of people want to focus on, where they're going to be in 5 years or 3 years or 10 years. I want to focus on today, because like I said, the only real thing we have control over is right now. I can't control the future. I can forecast it because I know that everything comes delayed. I can't change the past. No one really can. So focusing on today, what am I doing today that's going to give me the delayed result that I want? So a list of 10 things he focuses on is learn the power of purpose. The clearer your purpose is, the stronger it'll pull you. I'm talking almost literally. It'll pull you out of bed. It'll wake you up in the morning with enthusiasm and excitement. I don't know if you guys ever felt this way when you went to work, assuming that most of us, like 99% of us, had a job at one point and we were working for somebody else, or you still might, right? Waking up, not really wanting to get out of bed, not wanting to get ready, especially in the places where it's cold, like Chicago is cold right now. I've lived in Chicago for 25 years, and going to work in the winter was the worst. So if y'all can relate, drop a 7 in the chat. But the power of purpose was towards the end of my working career, working for somebody else, my employee career. I started to wake up a little bit more enthusiastic. I was more excited because I knew that it was coming to an end. Not only that, but I was simultaneously growing my organization, meaning that I had the purpose of impacting people. So the stronger your purpose is, the stronger it'll pull you out of those tough times. And like Jim Rohn also says, you know, everything, including your business, comes in seasons. There's a winter, a spring, a summer, and a fall. So how are we going to manage those winters? How are we going to manage those days where we don't want to give it all, where we feel like we're maybe at 40%? What are we going to do then? Are we just going to give up, quit? No, we're going to keep going because our purpose is bigger than us. We have purpose on our back, and purpose is power. So purpose is also what takes you from thinking. And I love that CT talked about this today, because purpose is what takes us from thinking that we've been buried to understanding that we've been planted. He talked about the diamond and how he's not the best farmer. I love our CEO, guys. He's an awesome human being. He's hilarious. And more than anything, he looks out for his people. So protect the house. Purpose is power. And purpose is going to be what fuels you on those days where you feel so-so. Next thing is self-confidence. Feeling good about yourself, feeling good right now. Feeling good is the secret. Feeling is the secret, right? So when you have self-confidence, what happens? It's almost synonymous to self-respect, right? You walk a little bit taller, you posture up, you speak a little bit louder, you speak like you want to be heard because you know what you got. You know your value, you know your worth, you know that you're on the right path. Self-confidence is your power. It's understanding that no one is you. You are unique in your own beautiful way, and you can exploit that in the most purposeful way. Number 3 is enthusiasm. I think Alex Morton also talked about this before, where you want to be an expert in your field and you want to be enthusiastic. Energy is everything. People will feel your enthusiasm, especially when it's genuine, right? Because we've all gone to like the retail stores at the mall and people are like, kind of like fake nice. You know what I'm talking about? Here, you talk to people and you understand that they're real people because they're naturally enthusiastic. They're organic in the way that they speak, in the way that they flow. They don't have to have the best terminology or vocabulary, but you know that they know what they're talking about. Or you feel like, okay, he doesn't have results right now, but he's really excited. I'm going to listen to this guy, right? Jim Rohn says that enthusiasm is 90% internal and 10% external. I thought that was super interesting because myself, I'm more of an introvert, right? I'm not, if anyone knows the 4 personality types in terms of color, it's called the Bank Code, red, yellow, green, and blue. I'm more of a yellow. I'm more to myself. I love people, but I'm not the loudest person in the room, right? So when it comes to enthusiasm, and Jim Rohn saying that enthusiasm is 90% internal and 10% external, that's actually beautiful. Because when you speak to someone, and it's called genuine enthusiasm, people will understand that that enthusiasm that they see is only the tip of the iceberg, that you really feel so much more than what you're able to express with words. They feel it with your energy. I thought that was really beautiful. Number 4 is expertise, becoming an expert in your field. I've heard this from Jim Rohn, from Brian Tracy, from Alex Morton, from so many greats. So I don't think it's a coincidence. The way that you do anything is the way that you do everything. And if you want this to pay you professionally, become a professional in the field. That's all there really is to it. It's super simple. Leading me to preparation. I think preparation is the highest level of faith. It's the highest form of belief because you know it's coming, you know success is yours, and therefore you're getting ready for it. It's like going on a date or anything else that you do. Honestly, preparation is the secret to success. Those that come prepared, success will come to you. Opportunities will come to you. Opportunities come along and pass by the person that is not ready. The secret to success is to be ready for the opportunity once it presents itself. Do you think Christopher Terry would choose any random person to work with him on the corporate level? No, he worked with the people that are prepared to scale, prepared with professionalism, prepared with their experiences. So preparation, super, super important. It's the highest form of belief. I think it's everything. Staying organized. It's also, I talk about this a lot, is a universal law, right? The universal law of pure potentiality, meaning that we are pure consciousness. We are pure possibilities. We go from the unmanifested to the manifested via preparation, via the steps needed in order to get the result that we want. Number 6 is self-reliance, being independent, looking mostly toward yourself, not blaming anything on anyone else, not relying on anyone else to do things for you, but just getting it done. If you want something done right, do it yourself, right? So self-reliance. Number 7 is image. How do you see yourself? This kind of goes hand in hand with self-confidence. It also goes with, dress the way that you want to be addressed. Your image is the external that people see first. It's not the most important thing, but it does count, right? And then the internal one, your self-image, how you see yourself, because that goes back to your self-respect, your self-confidence. Number 8 is character, attitude of gratitude, your perspective on things. I think it is Dr. Joe Dispenza that talks about our habits creating our personalities and our personalities creating our character, something like that. But the things that we do on a small scale built up over time becomes who we are. Number 9 is self-discipline. I also read this in Brian Tracy's 21 Laws of Self-Made Millionaires. Again, the way that you do anything is the way that you do everything. Self-discipline. Knowing what to do, when to do it, and maybe when not to. Sometimes you should sit on your hands. Sometimes you should wait. Sometimes you should say, nah, I'll pass. Right? Because if we just did everything that comes our way, then we'd all be a little bit of a mess, right? So that self-discipline, knowing when to and when not to, there's a time and place for everything. It builds up to who you are as a person, your character, and honestly, the fractality of self-discipline. If you think you are disciplined on the charts, but you're not disciplined in other aspects of life, are you really a disciplined trader? Think about it. And number 10, performance. Putting your all into the things that you do. Doing things professionally, doing things to your best ability, just putting your all into it. And then I have some extras. I'm not sure if Jim Rohn said them. I think they did, but I think it was a different video. Don't let people steal your time. I think this is super relevant to us because actually, I don't want to speak for anyone here, but I found myself doing more activity than productivity multiple times in my entrepreneurship career. So I'm letting people steal my time as if my time isn't valuable. We all know that one of the most valuable assets we have is our time and our energy, right? So why do we give people full access to us? I know we've heard it before. We have passwords on our computers. We have passwords on our phone. But sometimes we need to have a password on ourselves. We need to have a filtration system. This is when I can do things. This is when I will not do things. Knowing the non-negotiables. Don't let people steal your time. You wouldn't let them go into your purse. You wouldn't give everyone access to your crypto, right? So treat your time the same way, because that's something that you can't get back. Ask questions. The quality of the life you live is determined by the quality of the questions you ask. I think it's a very, very, very good habit to have a list of questions prepared for the mentors. Just in case you come across someone that you really want to speak to, whether it be John Guaman, Matt Rosa, Jason Brown, Alex Morton, Kiani, whoever it may be, Kai, Tim, and Mike, have questions prepared, because mentorship is cutting away the learning curve of this entrepreneur roller coaster, right? So asking the right questions, asking quality questions is going to help us. And not only that, but we don't want to steal that person's time, right? Why give small talk when you can be learning and investing in yourself? And then my favorite one is setting goals. This leads me to, we'll get into setting goals. This leads me to The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. This is another another personal development audiobook. I listened to the audiobook on YouTube. I'll send you guys the link to it. I've probably listened to The Strangest Secret a minimum of 20 times. I'm not kidding. I've typed it out. I've written it on blue pen. I love it. I don't know. So if you guys ever find something that you're really inclined to, I say roll with it. But The Strangest Secret is super, super simple. It's not a secret, and that's what makes it strange, is that the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people, the difference between the person that quote unquote mates it, or I guess he does, and the person that just wanted to, is goals. It's super simple. That's why it's so strange. Because when we're 12, 15, and adults are asking us what we want to do when we grow up, and we're super ambitious, and we're like, yes, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be making 6 figures. I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be a celebrity. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to make an impact. What happens between that moment and when we hit 65? Some people will make it. Some people will accomplish, but most won't. And I say most, not because of you guys, not because of the 119 that are on this call, but statistically speaking, most people are on the left side of the cash flow quadrant. Am I right? Most people, most Americans have less than $1,000 in their bank account. Most Americans after retirement are still depending on government assistance. So what happens to the people that said, yes, I'm going to be successful when they were 18, 19, to the point that they're 65? They lost enthusiasm. Maybe they didn't have their goals written down. 97% of people never write a list of goals. That's why there's a left side and a right side of the quadrant. Because being an employee, and I'm sorry if this hurts anyone, but being an employee is easy. You get told what to do. Writing a list of goals, you tell yourself what you will accomplish. So The Strangest Secret is literally just writing goals, which leads me to my next thing. I'm going to be talking a little bit about OKRs and DMOs. So what is an OKR? An OKR is an objective and key results to accomplish that objective. This I learned from a video on YouTube University, by Vishen Lakhiani and Mindvalley. It's also in the book Measure What Matters, and essentially it's what companies like Intel, Google, and other like S&P 500 companies used for scaling. There's also a law of 150. I believe I learned that from Paul Mitchell, but don't quote me on that. That when an organization or company reaches 150 employees, you start to lose a little bit of the authenticity. Why? Because it's really hard to keep track of over 150 people. So OKRs and DMOs are going to be what helps us scale our business, scale our organizations, and other business endeavors so that we can go well beyond that 150 number, that 150 milestone, so that we can duplicate that time and time and time again. So if that sounds good with you guys, let me know. Essentially, it looks like this. This is a quote by Jim Rohn. He says, you can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. So as long as you're okay and you're open-minded to being a little bit uncomfortable temporarily, becoming the person that you want to become by choice, then you can have more than you have, right? In order to get different, you have to move different. Otherwise, you're going to receive the same thing because you're doing the same things. Super simple, right? But that's the difference. So I created this template and I'm going to share it with you guys after this call. It basically goes over the video that I was talking to you guys about. The one on YouTube is called OKRs by Vishen Lakhiani. Vishen is spelled Vishen. I'll send you guys a link to that as well. And I created a template for my team. I'm happy to share it so that you guys can do it for yourselves. I highly recommend doing this before the new year. Why? Because I heard from, I forgot who this was. This might have been Jim Rohn again. He's a goat. That your brain can't focus on more than 3 priorities. I'm kidding. It was Richard Branson. Your brain can't focus on more than 3 priorities at a time. That's just the brain works. You can also find it in Atomic Habits. I know a lot of the LBD team was reading that a few months back, but your brain is based off of efficiency, right? Making decisions based off of what's easiest. So the same thing goes for priorities. Do you ever feel like you're spread too thin? You're spread far and wide? Yes, me too. So that being said, I said this year, I'm going to focus on a few key things in order to make sure that I accomplish these things. Otherwise, I'm a little bit here, I'm a little bit there, I'm a little bit over there, but nothing ever gets done. I tell my boyfriend, I feel like I'm doing a lot, but I haven't done anything. I haven't accomplished everything in full. So I created this and I'm going to be doing this exercise with you guys. I'm going to do a quick summary. Essentially, your name goes up here, right? You are the boss. This is your organization. Treat it as so. You have a vision, you have a purpose. So put that in writing. Put anything that you have in your mind in writing to really materialize it, to really bring it to the manifested, to the physical. With your vision and your purpose, be as idealistic as you want. I'm not here to tell you to be realistic. I'm not here to shrink your goals. I'm not here to tell you to think smaller. Absolutely not. I'm saying, I encourage, think bigger. Then we're going to step it one step back of impossible. If you want to speak in an arena of 50,000 people, cool. If you want to feed 50,000 families 5 times a year, cool. Whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life, remember that I talked about that ikigai? Your purpose, what you're good at, your talent, and what gets you paid. Put that here. What's going to bring you that fulfillment that we all seek? And then we're going to do some reverse engineering. We're going to break things down little by little so that nothing is too complicated. We're going to simplify it so that it's right in front of our eyes and we put it from this sheet to our Google Calendar or our iCal. How's that sound? So first things first is creating this mission statement. Think of, if you had your own website, what would the mission statement be right below your name? Whether it be creating financial freedom, financial literacy, awareness, small businesses, helping families, mitigating the economic gap, whatever it may be, write that down. And then we're going to reverse engineer it. So I highly recommend having at least a 3-pronged thesis for your mission statement. And then we're going to break it down. So number 1, we're going to focus on the first thing that we wrote in our mission statement. If that is creating financial freedom, then cool. What is financial freedom to you? Because here's the thing, a lot of us, we dream big, right? Which is good. That's the first step, is thinking bigger, shifting our paradigm from these limiting beliefs that we might have inherited, right? When I first got started doing this, I wanted to be an engineer because they get paid $60K off the bat first year. And then I learned that that's not what I wanted to do. And then once I got into IM or IML before, I learned 60K. That's cap. Why would I limit myself to 60K? So with that being said, what is success to you? What is financial freedom to you? Is that 100K a year? Is that 100K a month? Is that 100K a week? What is financial freedom to you? Then we're going to take it one step deeper into what's going to get you that financial freedom. Because there's infinite ways to make money. There's a cash flow quadrant that gives you 4 opportunities, and then there's a lot of subcategories in each of those opportunities, right? Or I guess you can think of it this way. There's 2 ways to make money. You work for money or money works for you. But point blank is that there's a lot of ways to make money, right? You can get another job. You could work at a gas station. You could do sales. You could sell a product. There's a lot of ways. How are you going to do it? If it's through trading, what are you looking for? Are you looking for 10% ROI a month, 5% a week? Are you looking to flip a bag every now and then? If you're, I'm assuming, if you guys are building, which you should be, what do you need in order for you to be able to not only be good for yourself, but reinvest back into your people? Is that 5K a month, 10K a month, 25K a month? Are we going straight to 750? What does that look like for you? So in the last prompt, I say, get audacious with 2 of these goals. Something that scares, something that scares the living crap out of you. Because even if we shoot for this moon, we might land amongst the stars, right? I think that's how the saying goes. So just go for it. I'm a firm believer that we should be idealistic and then have peace of outcome. So yes, these are going to be our goals for 2021. If you don't feel like it's absolutely doable, cool, then scale it back a little bit, but do not cut yourself short. And then we're going to do the same thing for prompt number 2 in your vision, prompt number 3 in your vision, and prompt number 4. We're going to be reverse engineering with these. Make sure that you add quantitative data because we want these things to be scalable, right? This comes from the book Measure What Matters. So if it's important to you, put a number behind it. Give it a space and time. And then that's going to lead us into the 11 DMOs of a chairman, the 11 DMOs of a professional entrepreneur, professional business owner. Why is the previous part important? Is because it will basically give us this list of 11 DMOs. As you'll see, as you're creating this, you're going to say, okay, I want to make 5 to 7% a week on my trading account. Cool. What do you have to do in order to make 5 to 7% a week in your trading account? Are you watching Go Live? Are you following Swipecoin? Are you on Bounce Back? Are you on Steady? Are you on DeLorean? Are you on HFX? What are you doing? We got to get specific with our goals. Give them that respect. Give yourself that much respect. Otherwise, you're kind of delusional, no? Otherwise, you're kind of just hoping for it. And what did I say in the beginning? Preparation is the highest form of belief. Preparation is saying that this success is meant for me. I'm already preparing for it. I'm getting it ready. So once you finish your 3 prompts minimum, you could do 5, you can do less, you can do more. It's really up to you. Live your life. You're going to find yourself with a very obvious list of things that you should be working on a daily basis. This list can be less than 11. I like the number 11. It could be 3, it could be 5, 3, 6, 9, whatever. But focus on a few small tasks every single day with consistency. That's what's going to bring you your end result, right? And everything is delayed. So that's why I have that 1%. Getting 1% better every single day. We don't have to conquer the world. We don't have to move mountains today and tomorrow. All we have to do is grow a little bit every single day. Same thing as compound interest, right? Working in our favor, growing a little bit. So the 11 DMOs of a chairman. Cruiser also went over these a few months ago. I believe it was on a marathon of some sort. Basically starts off like this. First things first, master your morning. What's your morning routine look like? Do you get out of bed and check your phone, check your messages, check your trades? Do you get out of bed and drink some water? Do you drink some coffee? Do you have time for yourself? There is a book called, what is it called? Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. And he talks about the first half of a monk's day is focused on self-service. The second half of amongst day is focused on serving others. But you cannot pour from an empty cup. So mastering your morning, giving yourself that time, that space, creating a sacred routine that really just respects you. Otherwise, you'll find yourself growing an organization and feeding others and feeding others and feeding others and feeding others and getting burnt out because you didn't have any time to feed yourself. So number one is master your morning. Create a morning routine that's suitable for you, that makes you feel good, that feeds you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Leading us to step two is physical activity. When we do physical activity, we are literally feeling better because we have endorphins running through our body. Our hormones are getting balanced out. We are creatures, ultimately. We are animals. And what did we do before? We hunted. So we have all this energy that we should be letting out. Also, I don't know if you've ever felt this way either, but the less that you move, the bluer you feel. Because there's not a lot of activity going on here either, because movement is blood flow. So let it flow. Then we have trading. We are an IM Mastery Academy that gives us options, that gives us financial education on how to trade the markets. So whether it be foreign exchange margin trading, whether it be investing, whether it be investing in Bitcoin, other altcoins, or margin trading cryptos, learn the product, learn the service. It's there for you. It's a beautiful, 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 valuable skill set. You can incorporate 15 to 60 minutes a day and you are golden. Check with your leaders to see what the best route is for you in terms of like your schedule, and we can make it happen. If not, reach out to me because I know everybody's schedule, all the educators' schedule, and I highly, highly, highly recommend sticking to one, learning the method of trading, and then of course, having an additional stream of income. Number 4 is personal development. Your income will not far exceed your mental, right? You can win the lottery and lose that money. You can win $50 million and go bankrupt if you weren't prepared, if you weren't developed enough to receive that kind of money. It's also said that you could strip everyone, or how do they say? You can give everyone on the planet the equal amount of money, right? Equally distributed, and it will still end up in the same hands as the people that have a lot of money right now. Because those people know what to do with it, and they've grown themselves, they've developed themselves in order to not only gain, but retain and then multiply that money. Next thing is social media. We live in a digital era, which is the most grateful thing that I'm appreciative for, because it gives us exposure. Whereas before we would have to go door to door, ringing the neighbor's doorbell, talking to the neighbor's daughter and granddaughter and cousin and comadre, who knows what, in order to have, we wouldn't even have the exposure that we have today. Now, how many social media platforms do we have? We have Twitter, we have TikTok, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have YouTube, we have a lot, right? And there's so many more that I probably have not tapped into. That's okay. The power of the internet connects us to people on the other side of the planet. That's insane. Who here has an organization outside of their state or country? That is, shout out to social media, right? Yes. Yeah, Leanne has teams all over the place. That's a huge shout out to social media. It's connecting us to people that we otherwise wouldn't have been connected to. So I actually took this from Leanne herself, and she says you have 4 things that you should be posting every single day to create engagement, to up your exposure, and make sure that people know that the value that you bring to the table. 1 is your value, just giving free value to people. Again, give and you shall receive. 2 is work ethic, showing people that you are grinding, that you're passionate about your work. 3, lifestyle, because people don't want to just see your work. They want to see the fruition of what that brings. They want to see why you do what you do. And then last, but certainly not least, something that I'm still working on is showing face, because psychologically people will trust you more when you show your face. So these are really, really simple components. You can post 4 times a day on your stories. And that's literally all you need, not only to boost you up in the Instagram algorithm, but to show people a glimpse of who you are, what you've got, and the value that you bring. And then what? People don't buy the product, they buy you, right? So showing people your true colors, being enthusiastic, showing people that 10%, the tip of the iceberg of enthusiasm. And then, of course, like attracts like. So if you're a positive person, bringing great value, showing a great lifestyle, showing your great base, people are going to be attracted to you. You're going to have people in your DMs saying, hey, what do you do? And it'll be a beautiful start of a conversation. Next is promoting. Promoting for this call, promoting for events, for op calls, for presentations, for anything. Promoting gets more people to show up that needed to hear this information. So you needed to hear some information on here, or you're thinking of someone on your team that you're like, damn, I should have sent this directly to their iMessage. That's the power of promoting. Saying, hey, there's a call, CEO Christopher Terry is going to be on. You know it's super important because it's the end of the year and he's the most powerful person in this company. You need to be on this call. That's simple promoting, right? And also prospecting. Not only having people be attracted to you, but looking out for the people that you want in your organization. This is the only place, in terms of network marketing and building an organization, it's the only place that we get to choose the people that we work with, correct? So use it. Use your power. Prospect people. It's okay to say I'm recruiting you. I know what I have. I know the platform is valuable. I know trading is a valuable skill set. I know residual income is powerful. I know investing is powerful. Of course, I'm here to recruit you. You should feel honored. But seriously, like no shame in my game. I want to work with people that have similar mindsets. I want to work with people that are open to opportunities. I want to work with people that want to do better, feel better, do more. I do. So if that's you, then come on board. That being said, presenting. Presenting can literally be edification or telling your story. A lot of people think that they have to memorize a slideshow or a PowerPoint. I don't think that's the case. I do my presentation a little bit differently. I grow the relationship. I tell my story, where I come from, what this has done for me, and most importantly, where we're going as a company. We're going to impact 1 million lives, 1 million families, minimum. We're going to $1 billion, minimum. We're powerful. Not only are we teaching financial literacy, something that we haven't learned through the system, a system that has failed us, a system that gives 69% of Americans less than $1,000 in their bank account, a system that, you get where I'm going? I don't need to bash the system, but I do know what we have. And I know it's powerful because all you have to do is share it with one other person. 9th is communication. Communication with your teams, communication in terms of follow-ups. Communicate. I think it's better to over-communicate than under-communicate, to be completely honest. Same thing with any other business. You want to have a constant flow of communication. Otherwise, how do we know what's working or what's not? It's like having a relationship. Communication is key. And then track and reflect is supposed to be number 10, which I would move it to number 1 because I think that tomorrow actually starts today. Leon said this a couple of weeks ago on a training, and I'll never forget it, is how could you understand, or how can you be better tomorrow if you don't understand today? How do you feel about your day? How do you feel about the year? Take a moment to reflect, to see where your strengths are and where you can get better at. Track what matters. If you guys are afraid of numbers and you don't want to see things on paper, that's probably because you know that you're not going to let you see. That's a truth that you're hiding behind. Numbers don't lie, right? That's why I'm a fan of them. I love statistics because it might not be the information that I want to see, but it shows me where I can grow. And that's what I'm here for, is growing, is getting better. Because if I see that I've had 9 calls today, but none of them have really produced anything, then I was being busy, but I wasn't being productive. That means I was kind of being selfish. I was kind of lying to myself. So being able to track what I've done, reflect on that, will bring me to a place where I could say, this is where I'll change for tomorrow. This is what I'll adapt. This is what I'll modify, creating that refinement. Those are the best companies, the ones that can adapt, the ones that can grow, the ones that refine themselves. Those are the best organizations. Last piece, guys. I know that I've had you here for 15 minutes, so I appreciate the ones that are still on. I'll go through these super, super quick. In order to go to the next level, you can take 9 simple steps. So 1 is commit. Decide what it is that you want. 2 is know that sacrifice comes with a package. You got to give up to grow up. 3, negotiate. Let me explain myself. Negotiate with your partners, with your family, and say, hey, I'm going to need 30 days to really crush my goals, but it's going to be for the greater good. It's going to be for us. It's going to be for the family. It's going to be so we have more time together. Be honest. Negotiate ahead of time. That way people can't be mad at you because you said it ahead. Number 4 is determine the time you're willing to take, whether it be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year, 6 years, whatever it may be, determine it. That way you remember your purpose and you said, cool, I still have a few more months. I still want to see something. Number 5 is clear distractions. Like I mentioned before, you really can't have more than 3 priorities in your life. So if you're focusing on 99 different things, you got 99 different problems. Clear your distractions, focus on a few powerful things, and watch yourself produce more. Number 6 is know your resources. I Am is a beautiful resource. It teaches you how to be a leader. It teaches you personal development. It teaches you how to be better, how to take more care of yourself, financial literacy, education, HFX, FRX, IBO, ECX, you name it, right? It's a beautiful resource. Know them well. Number 7 is warm up your list. Start talking to the people that you've been eyeing. Number 8 is believe that it's been done. Feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret. Believe it before you see it on paper, before you see it in the back office, before you see it in the MT4. Believe that it is done for you. Number 9, also super important, give yourself permission to be successful. You got this. You got you. It's on you. It's for you. You got it. Know that you're worthy of abundance. Know that you're worthy of success. Know that it's coming to you. Sometimes, again, we have those limitations because maybe we're going to be the first person in our family to hit 6 figures. Maybe we're going to be the first person in our family to hit 7. Maybe we're the first person in our family to open up their own business or do an MLM. And that might make us hesitant. But know that once you commit, you decide, you negotiate, you go through these steps, it is for you. And you're capable of doing whatever it is that you set your mind to. Because whether you think that you can or you think that you cannot, you're right. The mind is a powerful tool, but it's exactly that. It's a tool. We can make it work for us, or it can be our worst enemy and it can take control of us. Ultimately, you are the master. Revolve or repeat. And transition is the learners that will inherit the world, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped in a world that no longer exists. I've heard this first from John Guaman. He was not the original sayer of this quote. I believe it was Eric Hoffer, but it's super relevant right now, is it not? We are transitioning into more, we've been in a digital era, but we're transitioning more into a non-fiat currency. We're transitioning more into online, to virtual businesses, so on and so forth, right? In times of transition, what we are seeing right in front of us in the real world, in the physical, the learners, or those that adapt, will inherit the world, while the learned will find themselves beautifully equipped in a world that no longer exists. So evolve or repeat. Last but certainly not least, guys, we are running an I Am Women convention February 6th and 7th in Dallas. You can buy tickets on iamwomen.eventbrite.com. Super, super beneficial. It is not only for women, it is ran by women. So you can see all the nuggets, all the gems. You can listen to all the advice, the expertise, the experiences that women all over in the industry that are killing it, what they have to say on the value that they bring to the table. Know that it is super, super critical to be coachable in this business. not just learning from other guys, not just learning from chairman 100 and above, but learning, period. So if you're someone that's open-minded, if you're someone that's open to growth, open to receiving, then make sure you get your tickets before they sell out. VIP is already sold out because why wouldn't you? But I hope to see everyone at this Dallas event, the place where a lot of it started. And I am open to everything that 2021 has to bring to us. I affirm that our organizations and our personal growth doubles minimum in 2021. I feel it. I see it. I hope for it all for you guys as well. With that being said, thank you so much for spending this time with me, for having this sacred space. This call is recorded so we can share it out to your teams. But that's the wrap, guys. I wish you happy holidays, a great new year, a kick in the right direction, starting off the new year on the right foot. That being said, namaste. I appreciate you guys.